Chelsea have got a ridiculously top-heavy team at the moment. Got Aubameyang, Havertz, Broja, Sterling, Pulisic, Ziyech, Madueke we've just signed, Mudryk. It's getting crazy. We need to be addressing the torso of this team. Chelsea's midfield is weak and on its last legs. And I say that for the case of N'Golo Kante, Jorginho and Kovacic. Now, Kovacic, I feel, has got a long future at Chelsea still. It's still going to be a big part of Chelsea's plans moving forward. But Jorginho and Kante, I don't think that there's going to be a long career for these two players. And they have become two of the most important players in Chelsea's recent success. If you look at the Champions League, Kante was instrumental, as was Jorginho. What a stellar year he had when he won the Champions League and the Euros with Italy. He doesn't quite transition the ball quick enough for us, and he doesn't offer a lot defensively. He's a great passer of the ball, and he's been a legend for Chelsea, but I don't feel like he's the man to take us forward, and he's not really one for the future for our midfield. And N'Golo Kante, I don't think he is ever going to perform to the ability he played at. I think he is on his last legs. I think the injuries have caught up to him. His style of football was unparalleled, and will go down as a Premier League and footballing great Hall of Famer, if you like. But I don't feel like he's going to be able to continue playing like that and offer that much. And I think it's probably a good opportunity to cash in on him if there are any potential suitors, any people that are willing to spend some money on N'Golo Kante. So that really puts Chelsea in a tricky situation in the summer and moving forward in this midfield area. We've been linked to every midfielder out there, every quality central midfielder we've been linked to. But the four names that seem to continuously come up are Moises Caicedo from Brighton, Enzo Fernandez from Benfica, Declan Rice from West Ham, and Jude Bellingham from Borussia Dortmund. Now, these four players, they all offer something different, and they are coveted by Europe's best. If you look at Liverpool, Real Madrid, Arsenal, Man United and Chelsea, I feel like we're all in for a sniff of any of these midfielders because we know that they can significantly improve our team. I did a video on Enzo Fernandez and I wasn't really sure about the price tag, and I wasn't really convinced after just him playing in the Portuguese league and having a stellar World Cup that he quite justified the price tag and that Chelsea should move in on him. But ever since we've sort of cooled our interest on him, I've sort of become a little bit more disappointed that maybe we didn't go in for him and we didn't just splurge, and we ended up splurging a lot of that money on Mudryk, it seemed. But I don't think our business in the window is done by any means, and I think in the summer, if we don't spend big on this window on a midfielder, I think it will definitely happen in the summer. But it seems like those four are the names, and I am very, very pro Enzo Fernandez, but I'm also very pro Declan Rice, and I'm also very pro Jude Bellingham. And Moises Caicedo is a new name that's sort of come up into the conversation. You know, he's been in great form for Brighton, but it looks like Brighton have slapped a 100 million price tag on him, which I think teams like Chelsea were looking at Moises Caicedo as a more economic option, a more Prem-proven player that didn't have a huge price tag. But now Brighton have gone ahead and slapped this price tag. It sort of changes the dynamic, and now they're all sort of with a similar evaluation of 100 mil plus. I would perhaps say Jude Bellingham, you're probably looking at 120 million plus. But it's really interesting to see all of us, Arsenal, Man United, Liverpool, Madrid, even though they've got Tuchemi, and Chelsea, all look for this central midfielder. And I want to sort of discuss what would be the best scenario for Chelsea and what are the scenarios that perhaps we could live with, because we can't acquire all four of them. We're not going to spend 400 million plus on getting all four, even though I think that would be great. But for Arsenal, Liverpool, Man United and Chelsea fans, and where, from a Chelsea perspective, I could realistically see these players going, what would be the best case scenario for Chelsea, realistically. So I'm going to leave Chelsea last. I'm going to discuss Arsenal. Now, Arsenal have got Thomas Partey, they've got Xhaka. You know, they've got quite a decent midfield, but I feel like they're sniffing for Declan Rice. I'm not happy about it. I'm not happy about it because I really feel like Declan Rice at Arsenal would really, really make them a potential dynasty. I mean, Arteta has got Arsenal buzzing. And for me, this Arsenal reign will only end and be disrupted if they don't acquire these big players and if players leave in typical Arsenal fashion. We've seen so many players, you know, reach moderate success with Arsenal and go on to leave for teams like Barcelona, for like the likes of Man City. You know, big teams come in and Arsenal, you know, their hand is forced in the past. This is a new era. They've got a fantastic team. They've got great youthful prospects. Bukayo Saka is flying. Martinelli is flying. Jesus is only added to that team. Odegaard is unbelievable. Partey's unbelievable. Like Arsenal, I got a long list of plaudits for Arsenal. Declan Rice going to Arsenal would be a problem for the league. Declan Rice is a real leader. He's a real presence in that midfield. And I think that is what Arsenal have already got in abundance. And for them to add to that, it would be a scary prospect. So I'm going to give Arsenal the player who I feel is the least likely to have a massive impact on their team. And I don't really feel like they're in that dire need of a midfielder. But if I have to give one of these more midfielders to Arsenal, I'd have to say Moises Caicedo. Now, Moises Caicedo is showing some signs of brilliance, but I don't think he's that big of a player for them. Given that Arsenal are top of the league and I think they're going to win it, this would be a scenario for Chelsea fans that I think we could live with. And I think Liverpool and Man United fans would also agree on that front. The next player we have to discuss is Jude Bellingham. Now, Jude Bellingham is, I would say, the strongest out of the four. I would say Jude Bellingham is one of the most complete midfielders I've ever seen. I think he could probably play anywhere on the pitch in goal. He is truly outstanding, and his age and his maturity, and you just get that impression when you see interviews of him that he's really, really, a football head and he wants to achieve great things in this game. And I feel like he's not going to make a move unless it makes complete sense in a footballing agenda. So Jude Bellingham at Chelsea would be a treat. I would be the most ecstatic fan if Jude Bellingham joined Chelsea, but I really don't see it happening. I don't see it materialising, and I think Jude Bellingham for Real Madrid or Liverpool is a shoo-in, so I'm going to put him as most likely to go to Liverpool in this case, because you saw the link up with Henderson at the World Cup, you saw the head-to-head. I feel like they've already had the conversations, it's already been done. Now they're just working out how to break it to everyone and what the fee will be. But I think Jude Bellingham probably has his heart set on Liverpool, and I think he'll make Liverpool absolute beasts. And the Liverpool that we're seeing of late, ninth in the table, just one above Chelsea, I think that will be quickly reversed should Jude Bellingham stroll into that team next season. So it hurts me to say that that's probably a likely scenario. I just don't see him playing for Chelsea, so I've sort of just given up on that front. He seems like a Liverpool player. He seems like he was just made to play at Anfield, and I've given up on that one. So Jude Bellingham at Liverpool, I think, is something I'm living with because I don't see another scenario. And then it's between Declan Rice and Enzo Fernandez. Now, these two players, to me, I feel like are the ones that I've talked about before and I feel like would best suit Chelsea. And I would love both of them. In an ideal world, I feel like we should be acquiring both. I think together they would pair so well. I think they would be the perfect combination of like leadership, presence, big tackler, along with, tenacity, quick on the transition, find the key pass, score goals. They would complement each other so well in the middle. But for the sake of this tier, I don't think we'll be able to acquire both signatures. So I'm going to have to say Enzo Fernandez at Manchester United is probably a likely scenario, a dangerous prospect, but I think it's one that is inevitable. Man United are one or two really good players away from being back to the Man United that are in contention for the league, chasing big trophies, and we just have to sort of face that. Erik ten Hag has done a great job. He's got rid of Ronaldo, and he's been able to sort of galvanise that squad. That would pain me to see him go there and not sign for Chelsea. But I'm going to have to say Chelsea acquiring Declan Rice is essential. Now, it's no secret I'm a Declan Rice fan. It's just I can't really live with the idea that he goes to another club. This is a man who has done so much for West Ham. He looks absolutely outstanding for West Ham. He's coming to the end of his contract. He's made it clear he wants to leave. He's been at Chelsea's academy. It's one we let go. His friendship with Mason Mount, his desire to win things and, have a legacy. It just ticks all the boxes for me. And it's the kind of personality I think Chelsea would really, really benefit from in the dressing room. So I would have to say Declan Rice is the player I want to see at Chelsea next year. Hopefully for a reasonable fee. He's coming towards the end of his contract. I think it ends in 2024, so he'll have a year remaining in the summer. I'd love to see Declan Rice and Enzo Fernandez. That would be ideal. How deep is Todd Bowley's wallet? Who knows? But I don't know how we're getting around this financial fair play situation. They've changed the rules on account of Chelsea's spending, obscene spending. So I think this is the likely scenario, and I think this is the money that Chelsea should probably go big on. But if we don't get Declan Rice, Enzo Fernandez would definitely be my second option out of these four midfielders that we're linked with. Moises Caicedo, I just don't think the valuation Makes sense. I think Brighton know that Chelsea are in a sticky situation in this area, and they're looking to cash in there. And they've already done pretty well selling us Marco Correa for 60 mil plus. And I think they're trying to swindle us again. But Chelsea should definitely tunnel vision for Declan Rice, chase that, and if it doesn't go to plan, Enzo Fernandez needs to be snapped up ASAP, or vice versa at least. But guys, let me know what you think. Who do you feel makes the most sense? What transfer really boosts each of these teams? Chelsea, Liverpool, Arsenal, Man United, all sniffing for a midfielder. One of these four are surely on the target list for each of these teams. Who do you think should go where? Leave it in the comment box below. Like this video if you did enjoy it. I'll be making more content over this transfer window. I'm sure a lot's going to happen. Subscribe to the channel if you are new here, and I'll see you in the next one in a bit.